One of them's like proper science. I do maths and algorithms
With
and
the accent and all that.
the cane and there's this and his friend's like this kaiju fanboy. He's got a kaiju tattooed on his arm and he's studying the stuff.
And like,
I have to admit, I've seen this character done a lot in Michael Bay movies especially, but then this was done much better and still he got on my nerves occasionally. Like they had one too many scenes. Like some of the China scenes were especially excessive.
right.
Because he goes to China because he finds out that he can neural link with a kaiju brain
Yes.
that they harvest from dead bodies, and that's how they learn about the kaiju to stop them. And I gotta give props to the U.S. I can't think of a single movie where the U.S.'s big plan doesn't involve a bomb. That was how the Avengers was supposed to go down.
Yes. That huge missile at the end.
Yeah.
Then we send the missile up there, and that destroyed everything. Same thing here.
Yeah. Except that didn't work. Yeah, that's a thing. So they figured because all these kaiju obviously they can't be living in the ocean. There's like a portal in between that leads to another dimension at the bottom of the sea, and their plan is let's throw a bomb down there. USA, USA. Oh my God! There's like bald eagles appear everywhere.
That doesn't happen in the movie. Just letting you know.
May as well have. And so the government goes through with the decommissioning of the giant robot. They had the same thing in Avengers where they had the shady room full of government officials, and they're like, we can't afford another giant robot. If you want another one, you're gonna have to prove you're gonna treat it responsibly. But so Idris Elba somehow, I guess he threatened to show Ghost Rider 2 again. But he manages to secure what he calls the resistance. Which is they were like, oh well, we still have the robots. No one from the government's gonna try and take the robots while we have the robots because the robots will destroy whatever they have.
Yes.
And so he gathers the 5 last Jaegers.
Was it 5 or was it 4?
Let's see, there's Typhoon, Eureka, Alpha, Gypsy. Yeah, 4.
Yeah, that's 4.
But he mentioned 5. I'm disappointed now. Coyote Tango was supposed to be in this movie, damn it. Giant guns and everything. But so yeah, that's how it works. That's my Skype going off. Unprofessional. So that's Idris Elba's motivation, and so we've gone through. There's a lot of the robot. You have to admit, aside from Striker and Gypsy, the others were just look at our pretty special effects. I mean, yeah, you had Crimson Typhoon because China is just badass. They were like, no, 2 pilots not enough.
We
need 3.
So they add an extra arm in the back.
And yeah, they're like, and we have 3 armed robot. Facha!
With the whole
and they do the whole they have the thundercloud formation where they each have buzzsaws and
they last long.
Well, yeah. But it looked like Shockwave. And after the Crimson Typhoon's one of the better. Then you have the Russians.
That was good.
The Russians are piloting this old Jaeger, one of the first Jaegers. It's called Cherno Alpha. Dawn.
So it's basically just pure brute force, that thing.
Yeah, that thing has no weapons. It's a big daddy. It is Subject Delta in robot form. There's it's only seen as a silhouette in the background and all the hangouts just because they wanted to make its reveal as dramatic as possible. And they're like, deploying Cherno Alpha, and the camera suddenly really low in the ocean. There's this huge wave, and then dun, and this huge towering thing comes out. It's its torso is all moving. It's got all these cylinders and stuff. And it's like you've got these two Russian guys like Cherno Alpha is in the water.
They were badass, and they lasted quite a while.
No, they didn't.
No, while they were being, destroyed, they actually lasted long.
Yeah, and that's why the math guy. He's like, well, the Jaeger attacks are getting more and more frequent. Soon we'll have double events and then triple events. They're like, oh, you're so full of shit. We have a double event. And because you can't have a soldier movie without the soldier having a friend who's not a soldier but somehow in the command system, so you have this guy called Tendo. He dresses like the Doctor. That's all I have to say. He is Doctor Who. He has the brown tweed jacket, blue shirt, red bow tie. But I don't know. I guess they're trying to make him different, but I felt like a jumpsuit would have been more appropriate. Because he's covered in tattoos, and he's like, hey man. He's like bros with the EDR guy. They're like bro fist. Sorry about your brother. Oh. And that's really all there is to him. But it's really sweet because he's like the closest thing to family the R guys got. They never play it up, but that really is his role.
Like he was there from the beginning, and then
he's like, sorry about your brother, man. Everyone tends to talk with an accent in that movie, don't they? And random bow tie for no reason. Scientist dude, like, he manages to figure out the whole kaiju thing, and he finds out, surprise, the bomb plan doesn't work. He goes, the portal has it scans for kaiju DNA before opening, so if you drop the bomb, it
just comes back.
It's just gonna bounce off and hit you. And what's funny is they mentioned they've done it before. They've tried going there,
and it always never works. So why do they think that this time it will work?
Well, that one's because they were like they said, oh, we'll go right after a kaiju appears, because then the portal's still gonna be open. So it's probably closed at that. So I understand that part of the movie. I just find it funny, and they said they make a big deal about how strong this bomb is. They're like 24 million tons of dynamite. Strong. Careful, your server might melt because of that. That was a Minecraft joke. And so they're like, okay, we'll strap the bomb to Striker Eureka, and then Gypsy Danger, it's your job to defend, to guard Striker while we send him to the drop point. And they only find out about this whole kaiju thing last minute, and suddenly, out of good fortune, kaiju appear. And we're going into the ending after all. That's all I have to say about that. It's just any scenes you want to bring up. Been going for 40 minutes.
Any good scenes? That scene where they show Marco.
Yes, movies have scenes. What?
Where they show Marco as a little girl.
Oh yeah,
facing her first ever kaiju in Japan.
I found that a bit self-indulgent. It's like too many shots of just her like that.
But here's the thing: she's the only one there. Why is she the only one there? There must be some stragglers.
Well, I guess they all fucked off. They all went off.
Or is it because it could just be a memory and she doesn't remember anything else?
Yeah, that's probably it. I was really hoping someone yelled Gojira in the movie.
it's on the bingo list.
It's on the bingo list. It's Gojira.
It didn't happen.
Didn't happen. Although they did reference Japan being a big fan of the kaiju. That should have been crossed out. Still would have gone a bingo though. Fucking hell. I was so close to getting a bingo, but then that would have ruined my. I sound like I'm hating on the movie, but I actually really enjoyed it. That's shout out to Hideo Kojima. He gave the movie a good review. I wouldn't say it's groundbreaking, but it's a good palate cleanser from Michael Bay. Michael Bay, this is how you make a movie.
This is a good example of a good robot movie, of a good alien movie.
Yeah, it's because Real Steel was an emotional father-son story. that is not. It has its emotional moments, but don't let it fool you. It's robot versus. It's basically everything I hoped it would be. I remember the first time. Well, my first encounter with Pacific Rim was last year, I think.
Yes.
Was it last year or like
It was
end of 2011?
Yeah,
I remember Kenzo telling me, "Hey, you're a big fan of giant robots, right?" I'm like, "Yeah." There's this movie called Pacific Rim. I'm like, "Oh shit!" That was the one where they had the really vague teaser. They didn't show anything in the teaser. It's like apparently it's a robot flick. It's supposed to be really good. They're saying it's supposed to be really good. I'm like, okay, and then later on, like a few months later, it's not just a giant robot movie. It's a robot versus Godzilla movie, and I was like, wow, someone's been peeking at my Christmas list, and that is what it is. It is giant robots fighting aliens. It really is, and I like that it's not pretending to be anything more than. It has its occasional moments where you're like, goodbye, sensei. When Knife's child loses her adopted father as well, but other than that, it pretty much purely is. There's this scene that I didn't like at first, and then I liked. And after that, I gave it some time to like it, where they're like, they kill one of the kaiju. And he's like, and the other guy's like, we should check for a pulse. Checking for a pulse now. Pew 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 pew.
no pulse.
No pulse. I thought that was really good because that's actually a thing that happens a lot. Is everyone's like, oh, we won, walk off. Surprise! It's still alive.
So good thing they did that.
They watch Zombieland. They know rule number 2: double tap.
Okay, you mentioned that this is purely a robot movie, purely a alien movie. That it's not trying to be anything else. But I do feel that they did miss out on that whole memory link thing, where one has access to the other's memories. I thought there could be like another plot line just for that.
Well, then you get really soap operas like
That is
I
true.
saw you in the drift.
That is true. Maybe they could explore that in the sequel. Which
I don't want
confirmed.
to. Did it
It's already confirmed.
Which
that,
website?
It's on YouTube somewhere.
Fuck that! You know what else is on YouTube? My vlogs. That's
No. So some guy.
what does that
some
say
guy,
about quality?
So was that one guy? I think the director himself was asked whether there will be a game about it, and then he said, "Oh, there will be a game that will tie into the sequel."
What if he was being sarcastic? What if he was like, "Yeah, the sequel, but it's not gonna happen." Alright, seriously, Guillermo, my brother, if you are for some reason you have nothing better to do, you are watching this. Do not make a sequel. Take a page from Tim Burton. No sequels.
No sequels.
No sequels.
Though I would like a small, maybe 5 or 6 minutes sort of.
What, you mean like those DreamWorks?
Yeah,
those
sort of-
DreamWorks shots?
No,
What is it?
Pixar shots as well.
Gypsy Danger goes for Christmas.
So something that concentrates more on the characters, because I want to know more about. the
Yeah,
characters.
there's that comic. It's like the year 0. It's like Pacific Rim. It's like, yeah, I don't know. World War Z sucks.
I wouldn't say it sucks, but we know it's a cash-in. It's a definite cash-in.
Sucks. 6 movie. Yeah, I just had to mention that. I wanted to record a vlog after watching that, but I was like really tired, and you haven't seen me for 5 weeks because I've been in the labs just doing work. Hopefully you'll see that stuff soon. So Pacific Rim, overall, good movie. I'd have to say it is currently my favorite movie of the year. Even though I said I like Iron Man 3, this defeats Iron Man 3 just because Iron Man 3 didn't need to happen.
True that.
Pacific Rim, we needed a proper action robot movie. Although still, robot boxing is still pretty good.
But it was finally time for a giant robot.
Because it's especially with all the talk of Transformers 4.
Oh, no.
I may not even... Okay, no. Transformers 4 gets its own bingo list.
Yes. Okay. Well, we're doing that for Transformers 4.
Yes. And what else? Don't forget to comment.
Like, subscribe.
No, I didn't need to subscribe. Yeah,
Please.
no, it's reverse psychology, It's like, No, don't.